Welcome to ARA Unscripted. This is a candid, open format podcast where I sit down with interesting people from across the automotive recycling industry and beyond. We dive into real conversations about work, life, leadership, challenges, wins, and everything in between. No scripts, no filters, just real conversations that inspire, educate, and connect. My first guest is well known in the automotive recycling industry. He's a past president of ARA. He's a third-generation auto recycler, CEO of M&M Auto Parts in Fredericksburg, Virginia. He serves with the Virginia Automotive Recyclers Association and as president of the Automotive Recyclers Training Institute. Jono is a husband, a father, he's a man of faith, and he's my friend. And I hope you enjoy listening to this conversation as much as I did having it.
But seriously, the Top Gun one would have been pretty awesome. You don't have to put the helmet up. I was just kind of being funny.
It's there.
Yeah, good.
It's there. So.
Oh, you've got questions.
I do. Well, I've got like a little cheat sheet, you know.
It's fair.
But I'm not even gonna look at it yet because I think just having a cold open, you know, I think it's interesting that this is starting with you.
Okay.
Because my career at ARA started with you. So, and I bet a lot of people don't know, right? So, how did my name pop into your head? Tell me the story about how that all went down.
Yeah,
which led to me sitting here.
It's true. You drove a long way to get here too, by the way. No, yeah, so
18 miles, I think.
Yeah, 18 miles, about 25 minutes. That's about right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back. How many years was that? So, 2018-ish time frame?
Probably, yeah. I think this is 6 or 7 years now.
You were in the industry, right? So
yeah.
It's funny, the first time that I met you in industry capacity was when you were with Mannheim, Total Resource Auctions.
Oh, yeah.
And I had asked to come work in the family business and was told, go do something else. So I went and did something else. And then the moment that my tenure at that job, you know, I had lasted long enough, I applied to work at M&M and I got hired. And so the first job
Wait. You had to apply at your family business? Come on.
I know. It's not. I mean,
was that a ruse or was
no,
that a legit?
100%.
Was there a chance that you were not going to get hired?
They would have been so dumb. No. I don't know. I mean, probably not. Like, I think it was a check the box kind of thing. But at least it was for someone. And I started off not even interviewing with my dad. So started interviewing with Jeff Sowers, who's our COO. Took a pay cut. That was always. My wife did not understand that. She loves me. She's awesome. But she was like, oh, you're.
She didn't catch the vision right from the beginning.
She didn't. She's just like, what are you doing? No.
Similar situation, but different outcome.
So it's funny. So I come back first day that I get to go to M&M. I go to the 4 Mile Fork Total Resource Auction, and you're there, watching Bob Melvin Jr. Auction, and I was given a list of cars to bid on and the amounts to bid on them. And I remember I bought a 93 Corvette. It was green and the engine was in the back, like taken apart, it was in the car. And this industry is so crazy. Like, why are we buying a broken car? And
a fiberglass car.
Yeah. So yeah, even at that, right? So that was the first time I think I met you in a working environment. Yeah. I know previous to that you'd been in insurance and claims.
Well, previous to that, we knew each other from Spotswood, from going to the same church. Our families went to the same church.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that was the first time I met you. And then so it kind of just progressed. You were with Total Resource Auction for a long time. Then you kind of transitioned into Copart was the next time we kind of really had a lot of interaction. Mm-hmm. In the meantime,
I was going, by the way, because of, so it was Progressive Insurance and then Mannheim, right?
Yeah.
And then because of Mannheim's desire to break into the salvage market, I started going to the IT shows. I went to a few ARAs. I probably interacted with you.
Yeah, it's funny. In my phone, you're actually still under Vince Edevan, Total Resource Auction as your number. So it's just hilarious to me. I don't even know if that's a real thing anymore.
I think it still is, but it's not as defined a brand as it was when they first launched it.
Yeah, and they should be members of ARA.
Yeah, they should be members. Of course they should be members of ARA.
Anyway, so then going forward a little bit, my wife, she was actually your daughter's Sunday school teacher.
Okay.
For a season.
Which one?
Middle school. Lydia.
Okay, my youngest.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, I oftentimes get them flipped on. Who's older, who's younger.
So do I.
That happens. But yeah, so then you were with Copart, and it was much more of a visibility in the industry and the association. I had kind of stepped into the role of the executive committee. Over time, Copart began to kind of, I think, evolve and change with the direction they were going. And so you and Copart kind of split. And so you were kind of still within the space, if I recall. And
I was consulting. I was working for Pedal.
Okay.
I was working for a remarketing company out of California. I was doing various consulting gigs. And I know that at the same time, ARA was going through some transitions in leadership, right?
Yeah,
with
so
CEO and then no CEO, and Sandy Blaylock stepped in as an interim.
Yeah, so during my tenure as vice president, David Gold was president, and came to a crossroads, and we needed to make some changes at ARA. And the trajectory, financially speaking, was going in the wrong direction. And so one of the things that was just, we were talking about, like, how do we get more involved? How do we become relevant in the space and kind of just be in the face of recyclers, not
And
just...
you just thought, Vince Edevan.
And I said,
that's how we become more
Vince
relevant.
Edevan. No, yeah, where is he?
Yeah.
A man about town. And I said, you know what, this could be a good thing. So I think I was on my deck, backyard, old house, and I sat there and I said, I'm going to call Vince to see if he's even open to this idea.
I remember the call.
And the call went well. Obviously, like,
Okay.
kind of was like, what are we talking about here? What am I stepping into? Is this permanent? Is this not permanent? Is it contract? Is it a
I
contractor?
honestly was looking for additional contracting gigs because I really thought I was going to end up back on the auction side somewhere.
Oh, okay. I did
And
not.
even when I accepted to come on as a director of member relations on a contract basis, I really thought it was a placeholder
Oh, really?
while I was waiting to get back into the auction world.
Well, so it makes sense based on the trajectory of where you were and your kind of how you knew the industry and what part you knew. But it was kind of, for whatever reason, it was God saying, like, hey, this is a good guy to do this job. When I approached it to you, then I had to go back and be like, oh man, I better tell the ARA executive committee this could happen. So I kind of said, hey, talk to Vince. He's open to it. And no strings attached, just like, hey, this could be an opportunity for him to step into a place. He's I assumed you were in need of, like, a job that was, like, more permanent.
Yeah.
And we were in need of something that would say, let's go find people. Let's go find them. Because we had the first wave of consolidation, or the second wave at the time, right? And so that's kind of where the adventure started. And then it slowly, ups and downs, we hit COVID, right? And that was just such a inflection point for the world, for the nation, for the industry. I mean, our industry was one that flourished from sales during that. But it also put everything that we knew regarding reaching out to members on hold, in the sense of, like, we send an email blast, but how do we communicate with them when they're isolated because they want to or because they have to be? And so that's when, we were kind of leaned into you, into Sandy, into the team.
Yeah.
And we did the virtual conference.
Well, I think I came on. It was March. It was early spring of 19 is when I came on as a contractor, and then October of that same year is when ARA approached me to convert the consultant
into a full-time gig
relationship into an employment. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when you and I started to move more into, like, friends, industry friends, to like a brotherhood, if you will.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Or like, and so.
Well, honestly, until then, and the same is true with Aaron, right? Until then, my relationship with you always defaulted back to, you were one of the young people in the high school ministry. I can't remember if I met you when you were in middle school or high school.
It would have been high school.
I think it was high school. And so everything about it kind of defaulted back to that foundation. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until we started working together that it kind of went beyond that. I was like, he's not a little kid anymore. He's president of the association. But yeah. So anyway, I think it's really cool that this is the first podcast, and I get to do it with you.
No,
so.
it's great. And I thought about it. You mentioned Aaron. I mean, one of the things as we're talking through this, it's those those interactions, those touch points, those moments in time where you don't even know it's going to affect the trajectory of your life, of the industry, and of people you won't ever know, right? So we talk about Aaron. I mean, another opportunity where they deserve to be doing what they're doing in the space, which is Ultraviolet Media, who helps us so much in so many capacities.
And they're actually being utilized by other people in our industry as well now. So they've really made a name for themselves, and they do really high quality work.
But when we were looking to start doing some AV, some reach out media stuff, I was like, hey, I know a guy, and you're like, yeah, I know Aaron.
Yeah.
And it was like, let's put these things together and see what happens. And then it's kind of become a really good relationship for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think of that just how I got into the seat of being an ARA president. I mean,
so I want to get to that.
Okay, so we're going to push pause on that one. Okay.
Yeah, well, I just want to jump around a little bit. I wanted to touch on why it's significant that you're the first person I get to interview on the podcast. So you just got back from ARA. We just wrapped up our 2025 convention, Birmingham.
Yeah, that's right. Went to Alabama.
You did some How was the Recyclers Roundtable? I was in it for a little while. It seemed like it was a little like pulling teeth at the beginning, but then it really got going. It seemed like it really got going.
I would agree that I think there's always apprehension to kind of like speak out in those settings, and you've got people who want to talk on the microphone walking around, and I think the misconception is that we've got this whole massive speech prepared or a monologue.
It's a conversation.
It should be a conversation. And so it started off really just almost like we're advertising for the blankets that ARM are giving out for the fire blankets, which are a great thing. And if you don't have one, get one.
Yep.
But then as it warmed up, conversation became more loose. We started having conversations. And then at the end, I think David Gold and some other people were kind of like, man, that could have gone on for another hour.
That's the way it always is with the Recyclers Roundtable.
Yeah, it's almost like we should start it and then just have no one show up and then just finally really start it like an hour later.
What were some of the really good, do you remember? Some of the really good back and forth?
Yeah, one of the ones that just kind of, it's the AI, right? So the uncertainty of AI and how it's going to affect our industry. I know I made a comment based on a conversation I had at the bar. I was moving through the bar. I wasn't stopping at the bar. Just point of reference.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They didn't have a Shirley Temple ready for me, so I had to keep moving.
This is an amazing. I was going to point this out at some point that you're the guy. You're just this interesting mix of absolute like childlike silliness and then maturity that's like beyond your age. It's you're a guy who will order a Shirley Temple,
lots of cherries,
extra cherries, plate full of cherries, and then in a room full of controversy, when you finally speak, you bring this calming effect to everybody in the room, and you speak wisdom, and I'm not the only one. I'm not blowing smoke. A lot of people see this in you.
Wow, well, that's. I thought you were being like an Indian or something. Oh, blowing smoke.
See, you're gonna get me canceled
on cancel culture.
Haven't even launched our first podcast, and you're gonna get me canceled.
We're the Washington Commanders, okay?
Okay.
So, anyways, back to that. No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
So you're walking through the bar.
Yeah. So in Dave Barzoff from Revolution Auto Parts out of Charlotte or Monroe, North Carolina. He and I were commenting about his kid's choice, and one of them's getting ready to graduate from college, and how he was very excited that they were choosing careers that were not easily taken over by AI.
Right.
And so I brought that up in the conversation of the Recyclers Roundtable, saying, hey, our industry is unique. It's always been unique. It's blue-collar centric. It's hands. It's AI will have a place, but it won't displace us as a whole. And that was my opinion, and I was opening it up for conversation. And I said, especially when it comes to taking apart cars.
Oh, I remember.
And somebody immediately stood up or said, hand shot up.
Greg Aguilera, or was it somebody else they shot up? And
yeah, and they said, well, you're wrong. They will. And I was just like, okay, well, that's your opinion.
But you know what I was thinking when I heard that? Because I was still in the room at the time. I thought to myself, Jono, computers have been putting together cars for decades. Why is it so absurd to think that eventually they can't take them apart?
And once again, in the moment in time,
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to have controversy, or I really didn't know enough to speak into that.
You hate controversy.
I really don't. Well, I want it when I want it.
On your terms.
On my terms.
Yeah.
No, but I guess thinking back up to that conversation, to that point in the meeting.
I need you to get closer to the mic. Yeah.
That point in the meeting, it I thought about the fact that yes, cars do put things, robotics put
Right.
cars together.
Right.
There's still a human component that are still working there if you've been to one of the assembly plants.
Yeah.
But one of the things about those cars that are very specific is they're perfect. There's no
Sure.
confusion about, oh, why is this bolt not where it's supposed to be? And then that's where the AI would have to interact with the robot and know I'm broken, I'm damaged, and what do I do with that? I truly believe it'll be a hybrid at some point
Sure.
where it'll be resourceful, but also the human intellect to say, okay, that knee assembly is obviously got issues at that point. What do we do? Right? And you could probably write all of this into some AI. Now, are we going to see it in our industry?
In our time, right? That's the question.
I mean, at some point, is it going to affect me? Probably not.
Yeah.
To that extent.
Yeah. And back to your conversation, like, I forget who it was that you were talking to at the bar as you were passing through the bar.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was saying that he was grateful that his kids are going into careers that don't readily and obviously look like they're going to be taken over by AI anytime soon.
Yeah, and I think one of his sons is pursuing a law degree that specializes in equine.
Horses.
Yeah, that's I think that's what equine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
what I
good. So I got it right. So, but it was interesting, and but that was probably, I think that was the only major. That was the only time in the whole Recyclers Roundtable event that I kind of just didn't know what to say.
Right, right.
Because I was like, he was adamant, and I was not about to open a can of
If
worms.
I remember correctly, somebody else's hand shot up, and then this is the beautiful thing about the roundtable. You kind of drop this little conversation hand grenade in the crowd, and then it goes off, and then in a perfect world, in a good conversation, the conversation starts to happen within the room. And
Yes.
and you're literally the moderator.
I didn't have to communicate.
Right.
It wasn't up to me to answer the question.
Right,
Or
right.
have the burden of proof that I'm right or wrong.
Yeah. And I think that's the way that one went.
Yeah, and in all respect, he was probably much more knowledgeable on all those things.
Yeah.
And listen, it could make my life so much easier on some level if that was
Oh, I know it's making my life easier.
just with the AI.
Oh yeah, I use it. I use it a lot. It helps me consolidate information. It both professionally and personally. One of the things I discovered the other day, felt a little silly that I hadn't discovered this sooner. I like to cook. You know, I like to cook.
Yeah, I heard this.
And I was preparing a meal. We were having some friends over.
What were we having?
Saturday. I smoked some ribs, and then I made a smoked mac and cheese.
Oh, I saw this on Facebook, I think.
Yeah, you probably
It was
did.
good.
And then
Looked good.
I forget what else I had. I made a roasted corn salad and some cornbread, and it was just this kind of southern.
Yeah, my phone number is still the
Comfort
same
meal.
phone number if you didn't know that.
I do know.
Okay, just
Anyway, I was doing some prep on my computer, organizing my recipes and shopping lists and all this stuff, and then it occurred to me I dropped all of the recipes into ChatGPT. And I gave it the prompt to create me a time-stamped, step-by-step outline so that the meal would be ready at 5 o'clock.
Wow.
And it took all of those recipes, it put them all together. It did exactly what I wanted to. It was probably one of the most stressful things about preparing a meal for a bunch of people is working it backwards so that it's ready on time, the food is warm when it hits the table, and all this other stuff. But
I never even thought of that being
yeah.
a reality. I mean, of something you would
because
use.
you're working multiple dishes all at the same time. You got to
And you want it to come out so they're all warm. You don't want this
all
to be
warm
cold.
all
Yeah,
at the same time, right? And so I was like, it was a game changer for me. Holidays are coming. I do a lot of cooking.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is amazing. So anyway, I use it both professionally and personally.
Okay.
I think what I say to people is, with regards to AI, chat, whatever it is, you can go on Google and you can ask Google a question, and Google's going to bring you all of the websites that are relevant to the question you've asked. You can ask chat or some other AI, and it's going to go read the entire internet, and it's going to come back with the answers to your questions and the links to the references in case you want to take a deeper dive. It's literally like having somebody stand next to you, and you look at them and you go, hey, what do I have to do step by step to get this meal all prepared and on the table at the same time? And it just tells you. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That is an amazing thing about it. There are some scary things about it.
Yeah, I like how we're talking about food, but it can also shoot missiles, whatever. But I mean, it's just
Yeah.
the reality of what
Yeah.
it could be.
But it certainly has workplace applications.
Oh, I mean, I think that we use it in the ARA with committees to dictate notes.
Yep.
Like and that's such a savings. I know that, if you are the person that's supposed to be recording what's happening, you can't always engage to the level that you should be engaging because you're trying to get all the notes right down. Something small, but something super helpful when that goes down. And then I think that it's going to continue to take place. I know we've seen it at the trade show. This is the first time at the trade show there's multiple AI.
And they were packed.
Yeah, people want to know.
Chris Douglas's session was standing room.
Yeah, and then his booth was pretty consistently. People are coming up talking about it. I know that they've talked about the AI potentially being on the inventory side of things. I think the insurance, the collision insurance side is using AI currently, I think, with photos to identify the parts that are good and bad.
Did you hear Andy Latham's story about his daughter?
Yes.
She got in a car accident.
That was Recyclers Roundtable.
That's right, it was, yeah. And
I don't know if you were there.
I was there for that part. And
Sounds like you were there the whole thing.
I wasn't. I probably stayed in that session longer than any other session, other than the recyclers keynote.
Where you had to be there.
Where I had to be there. I was on stage. Yeah.
Guys, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Oh, something come up. No. So I probably stayed in the recyclers roundtable longer than any other. But that was fascinating. Like his daughter got in an accident, and AI, took some pictures. AI handled the claim. They came, picked up the car. She had her money. It was like 4 or 5 days. Yeah,
it was so fast. If I remember, it was Louisville 2018. CCC was there. And so at the time I was president of the association, they have an invite. They used to have an invite to the President's Association. And they put on a great show. And they were commenting how the car will one day know what's wrong with it. And will tell you, I'm not fixable. And when you track that with the photographs and they do the data, it will know very quickly, like, I'm damaged, take me to X. Or don't even take me to the body shop.
Right.
I'm just going to be total loss. Pool. Yep. Take me to the salvage pool, take me to wherever I'm going to go, pay off the person's, the money they owe or whatever.
We used to do that with pictures when I was at Progressive. We called it OTL, which was obvious total loss.
Okay.
So certain vehicles that were just, toast.
You just knew that there's no
hard
sense
rollover or something.
So, that was...
Take it straight to the salvage pool.
That was 8 years ago, right? And so as we begin to see, like, I think that once again, not to dwell on COVID more than what it was, a big virus that a lot of people got hurt from. Can I say that?
So much more to say.
I know.
It's not that kind of podcast.
Bobby. Anyways. But I think that there was a...
Ivermectin. What?
It's all conspiracy. Or I'm right. Who knows?
Who knows?
So, wow. I guess it's just the entire industry, I think, got put on pause because we came back from COVID and it's like, we got to go EV. And so all the R&D went to EV.
There's a lot of money. Auto recyclers, most auto recyclers had banner year after year, right, from COVID.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what was really...
you had that auto recycling was declared essential, so they didn't have to close.
That's right.
And then the supply chain, even without COVID, if something were to interrupt the supply chain, that automatically means more sales in used auto parts that are already here in the country, right? That we don't.
Yeah,
have
and so many people who
there's a lot of factors contributing to.
Yeah, you take your vehicle somewhere and they're going to order said part. Well, like we have warehouses full of parts ready to go.
Yeah, right behind me.
That's right. But it wasn't just that; it was that they were ready to go. They were the people wanted their cars back, and they wanted them now. But it also, for a season we had really not only were the sales great. People weren't sure what was going on, so the cars were really cheap.
Yeah.
There was that window, and then they just skyrocketed.
But the driving miles went down. So
it did.
Driving miles go down, accidents go down.
But now we're seeing the age of the car go up.
Right.
Which is kind of like, it's been nice. So the recycling community always is on like that 10 to 12 year, backside of the curve. Mm-hmm. So we're watching all these potential inflection points where you don't know where it's going to go. Like the EVs are coming, 2030, we're going to be dead. And then
they never really came. So don't get me wrong.
They're here.
They're here. And I think
you're going to buy a Tesla.
I just think we're going to see a gradual, much more gradual increase of market acceptance for EVs than what was trying to be mandated.
It's going to be a consumer driven. It's going to be the way it should be.
Which is the way it should be. Yes,
right?
I agree.
And so, but saying all that, like we were watching from a distance, maybe a little bit of what's going to happen, and then you go, oh, I'm really glad I didn't have to spend millions of dollars getting myself ready for this. And you go, oh, I bought some EVs, awesome, I'll sell some parts, but I didn't have to forego my ICE configuration or how I took apart my cars or the depollution stuff.
Create a whole new environment for dismantling.
That had to be.
It was a stressor.
Man, it is. I mean, and I know when you drive your first Tesla, I
did drive. I drove Shan's. That was the first one.
Oh my gosh.
It's fascinating. I remember the first time I drove Shan's car, and I felt like this is like driving. It's like the first time you got an iPhone or any smartphone from having a little flip phone, right? And then all of a sudden you get a smartphone, and you're like, "This is the most amazing piece of tech ever." And I remember I had a similar feeling when I drove a Tesla for the first time. Like, it's like driving an iPhone. The tech is amazing.
I think it's scary the first time.
No, I mean, it could have been, but I don't scare easily. I was like, what? I can scroll my phone while in traffic? I'm just kidding. I didn't do that.
You didn't do that. No, you did. Yes, you did. I remember when I drove Shan's car also, or Shan's car drove me, right?
Good. We're not going to go ahead.
Why? That's a good one.
It's great.
It's a good line.
It's great. It's a great line.
No, it's not. I just replayed that in my head. Anyways, so I also felt the same way when I drove my Kia K4. No, I didn't. I can't say that.
What do you drive?
4Runner.
What year?
18. TRD Pro.
Do you love it? Is that the first Toyota you've owned?
No, actually, my first car was a Ford Probe SE.
So much to say.
So much to say. I remember going to church youth group, and I come out of youth group, and it says anal in front of the name.
Is that middle schoolers?
I wish. Look, it was Aaron Stone. But I don't know, maybe not.
Well, that sounds like a perfectly Aaron Stone
joke, right?
So I
had that Ford Probe, and it was a 5-speed, and I was so frustrated.
I mean, wait. Was that? Where'd you get the car? Where'd the car come from?
It was a wreck.
I have yet to meet a recycler
who didn't have a wreck car.
Who doesn't have? Oh yeah, that's a wreck. It was a rebuild.
So my Uncle Ron was out.
The Toyota?
No, negative.
Really?
I know.
Okay.
So my Uncle Ron, he bought his car. He's like, I got a cool car for Jono, and I didn't know this, and it was a cool car. It's coupe. The eyes come up like this. The
hideaway lights.
Yeah, I said the eyes. Yeah, the hideaway lights. And so it was a 5-speed. I remember first off, man, this is bad. I guess okay.
I should have asked you before we started if anything's off topic, but
I don't know. We're just going.
We're rolling now.
I mean, I guess it's okay. So I was a spoiled brat. Probably still am a spoiled brat to an extent. And Aaron and I were at the house, my 16th birthday.
I'll interview Ruthie next, and we'll find out.
Don't do that, please. So I'm at the house. Aaron's at the house. I get home, and I don't know. I probably watched too many Saved by the Bells or something. Like, oh, I'm gonna get a car. Nothing, and I am just like it's crazy.
Wait, you were expecting?
Yes. How right? It's like at home, mom's not home, dad's not home, and just me and Aaron, and we're just like, so ticked. I went to my room, let off some steam.
Yeah.
Came downstairs.
This is great.
Man, it was bad. I got a sword that I had got when I was in Spain. Tore apart my room with the sword. I was so mad.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible. I mean, I was such a bad
Because
kid.
You didn't get a car for is this your 16th birthday?
Yes. I mean, June 11th, whenever that is, that year, Wow, yeah, I haven't told the story in a while. I really don't know if this should be on it, but we can keep going.
Well,
so I go downstairs like nothing happened.
Because the best part of this story is when
the
you
fact
get the
that
car.
I got the car, right? So I go downstairs and act like Aaron's like, "Where'd you go?" And I was like, "Oh no, for cool, man. Like we're watching Saving Private Ryan. I think we got the VHS from Video Club." So we're sitting there, and then some time goes by. Mom comes home, Dad, and they're like, "Hey, surprise!" And I was like, "Oh,
Did you rail on them about not getting a car, or did you just
I
wreck
just
your
kind of
room?
like really just my countenance just was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna let him go in my room. Yeah, like moms don't go in like 16-year-old boys' rooms, right? And so I just remember like it going for a while, and then a couple of days went by, and they had not gotten in the room, and then they went in the room, and it was just like, Jono, what did you do, Dennis? I mean,
I got one. I think this was my 50th birthday.
okay,
And I'm going to tell you right now, I think mine's better.
I mean, maybe it probably is, but
It is because, wait till you hear. So
Okay.
I think it was my 50th birthday, and it's crickets leading up to my birthday.
okay,
And
kind of a big one, right? Like half a century, right?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
No problem.
yeah. Anyway, so Michelle hasn't said anything. I'm like, man, you know. So
you
now it was the evening of my birthday.
Okay.
And we're going to go out to dinner. We're driving in the car, and I was like, finally my brain had processed, and I'd spun up so bad that I was like, I'm really kind of disappointed. I just got to tell you.
Oh, you dropped it in the car.
Oh, I dropped it in the car.
That's not good.
No. And I literally was like, I was really hoping, and I mean, we don't yell at each other. We've never yelled at each other, but I was just expressing my sincere disappointment and heartbreak that she did not do anything
She
special.
just forgot.
Yeah, right? She took it like a champ, right? Never, just, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we both married so far out, like of our league.
We show up at the restaurant. My entire family is there.
Oh.
My mom, my stepdad, my brothers, everybody.
Where'd you go? Where was
my
it?
cousins. We went to Maggiano's in
Oh,
Springfield.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I walked in and saw it, and she was standing by. I turned around, and she just had that look on her face, like I'm gonna hold this
Above
over you
your head
forever. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
That is
It
bad.
was really bad. And if I would have just held on,
Yeah,
if I would have
just for a couple
held
more
on.
miles, right? Just like
Jeez.
locked it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ford Pro was the first car. Then the spoiled brat in me got mad at my parents because they got me a 5-speed, knowing I couldn't drive it, so that I wouldn't drive it.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
I should have not been. I should have walked.
They should have given you a bicycle.
I should have taken the bike away. And so I think I put about 25 miles on it inside of Breezewood, like just trying to learn how to
learning?
drive. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was so mad. But now looking back, I'm like, I feel like I'm a rock star that I can drive a 5-speed, and like
Isn't that
80% of the
amazing?
world can't.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
or in America, right? So
Learning how to drive a stick, and I learned on a stick. I think it was like a 73 Super Beetle or something. And then that was my buddy who lived up the street. His brother had a
did he live near the 7-Eleven you used to call from?
We're not going to.
Not gonna go there.
Not yet. And then his brother had a 72 or 3 Pontiac Ventura, which was Pontiac's version of the Nova.
Okay.
And that was a 3 on the tree. So between my Bruce and
I'm shaking my head. I have no idea what that means.
the Chevy Nova.
No, 3 on the tree.
Oh, it's a manual shift car, but you know how the gears shift? Like you put the car in drive on the column?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. It's like that. It has a column shift, but you shift gears first, second, third,
Oh,
fourth.
you're constantly like ripping at the steering
Yeah,
wheel.
it's a 3 on the tree. That's what it's called. 3 speeds
Yeah.
plus a reverse, 3 speeds, all on the column. So you're shifting up here like this.
That's interesting.
So I learned how to drive on the Super Beetle and the Pontiac Ventura 3 on the tree. And honestly, I have yet to climb into a car or onto a piece of equipment that I haven't been able to figure out how to operate, and it all stems back to being able to know how to work a clutch and shift gears.
I will say that was, to me in the moment, wildly frustrated. Just so mad.
Sure.
And then like now going like, thank you so much.
You don't like to not be good at something.
What do you mean? Like, I'm fine with that. No.
So what was it like growing up in the business? Like so you grew up in the business. Your grandfather started Rupert.
Yep, Rupert.
Right? You've recently opened a self-serve location
In his name, yeah.
in his
Rupert
name.
Sioux Public.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then, but you opened it like right in front of the original, which still runs at Daily, the original site.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's actually right on, closer to Stafford County, Virginia.
Yeah. And so did you, as a kid, were you guys, it's very common stories that you're there, you're picking up scrap or whatever.
Yeah,
You're there
yeah.
at the business on a daily basis.
No,
No.
not in the least bit.
When did you first start? Whatever.
Yeah.
When did you first start working? And when you first started working at M&M, were you working for your dad?
Yeah. Well, I was special projects, right? So it's like
Is that like a secret phrase for I'm gonna just give you the worst stuff?
I think it could have been. Maybe it was. I didn't even know the difference, but I think it was just I want this to get done. It's not getting done, so you're gonna do it. And then you are tasking like a 14-year-old boy to do something that like men probably shouldn't be doing, and so that always ends up really awesome.
Did it involve moving like big rocks and shoveling ditches?
Maybe
things
things like that. Maybe putting racks up that weren't straight because we bought them used, and you had to like somehow make them work together, and you're 15 feet in the air. I don't know.
So there was a season where you were your dad was teaching you work ethic. That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like. And
So push pause on that. So when you're on Route 1 and you're going
Yeah.
north to this site, there's a hill, right? So there's a grassy knoll. No, there's a grassy hill, and so he's like, I need you to weed eat that, and I'm like, oh, cool. I've used a weed eater before. This is gonna be awesome. He's like, no, use a swing blade. I'm like, I'm gonna do what? And so like I'm out there just swinging this sucker.
like an old farmer.
And so if you just go north of the yard, you end up at the regional jail, right?
Okay.
And so in the summer, they just let people go. Like, yeah, your time's up. You got a person to drive you home? Nope, go for a walk. And they just walk to Fredericksburg. So there are people that were leaving the jail. They'd feel so sorry for me.
No way.
They would be trying to like, you good, dude? I'm like, yeah. So anyways, I mean,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
So there's things like that. And that was like, there was a couple times in middle school I'd go up, and then in high school, it was, during the summers, you'd go up for a couple weeks and you'd work and do jobs. I didn't really ever get a legit job until...
Were you being paid, or was this just straight child labor stuff?
No, I got paid.
Yeah, okay.
I 100% got paid.
Jono doesn't do it, and if he doesn't get paid...
I get paid. I got paid in cats. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it true? I remember one time, this is a long time ago, I know that one of the big things you did once you became much more involved in M&M is you overhauled the core program for your company.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And is it true? I thought I heard a story prior to all that your dad used to stockpile cats in like a container and then sell them at the end of the year, and that was kind of Christmas.
Well, if he would stockpile them, yes. Yeah. Is it Christmas? Was it Christmas? It probably was. Like how they. Being what I didn't know about the business was so much, right?
Yeah.
We lived. When I was born, my parents lived at the property, right? So it was my dad, my uncle, my grandma, and my mom worked there. My mom being the most educated of any of them. She has a master's degree in business, and she's like
Still.
she's 100%. But I remember I was 2. And mom was like, hey, your son and I are moving. You should come. Essentially like.
She says this to your dad.
Yeah, because he's like, you can't work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
This isn't
You got to
reasonable.
get away
Yeah.
from the business.
So we moved so far, moved to Spotsylvania County, right? And so.
And Rick decided to go with you.
Yeah, he did. That was great. Yeah, it was a good decision, right?
Good.
And
I've told my wife before, look, if you want to leave me, it's fine. I'm coming with you.
Yeah, I'm just going to go.
I'm coming with you.
So I think mom did a good job of realizing that it's so easy to become your identity. Like that's all you are is what you do. And in our industry, it is not just, it's more than that. It's like, I think that's one of the things when, in our industry, when you do typically decide it's time to get out, either being acquired by another yard or just selling it outright, like it's hard to leave. Like you still want to show up because it's more than just what you did.
Sure.
And so
it's you're tied to a community.
Yeah, it's
and
a
all
very
of a sudden you wake up one day, you're not
gone.
tied to the community.
And all the connecting points you had, in your mind are all gone, but they're still there. It's just you don't have the common theme, which is, are you recycling every day?
Right.
Are you selling parts? So mom did a good job of just like kind of saying like, hey, you guys do sports, like we do church, we do sports, like we do this. And
it sounds like she was the catalyst for balance in the
yeah.
Morrow.
No, and I think a lot of people can understand this. Like when you have a family business, when you have a business that's, owned by people and not a group, right? the owners, when it's good, they can make money. But when it's bad, they get paid last.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your business running. And so there were times growing up where it was like, you don't heat the house. You're putting, I remember sometimes it was like we had rooms that you just didn't heat in the house because it was like, it was tight, and going out to eat was a big deal.
So how does that affect you when now you're an adult, you have a wife, you have a few children, and I'm not out here saying that you're a multimillionaire, right? But
no, I'm not. But
I know, but you don't have to worry about those things anymore, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
And so how do you
balance that?
Yeah,
right?
how do you reconcile that? Like your kids are growing up in an environment where they'll never experience that, hopefully, right?
Yeah, and I want to be clear. It's not like I lived an impoverished life for that.
No, I get it. There was a season.
But there's always like this. We're normal.
Yeah.
Like, and whatever normal means for you, right? But doing it now, it's different because it's something that I actually have to remind myself on occasion. It's like you were blessed because of God's grace that the company's where it is. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, you had a part of it, but it wasn't because of you. There were people who came and you're on their shoulders.
Yeah.
And I think that anybody that listens to this, anybody that understands business, realizes that the guys and the women that start these businesses, they're the things that put everything on the line.
Oh, yeah.
They're the people who go, this doesn't work, I got nothing else, right? They cut the cords. I remember Marty Hollinshead, one of the past presidents, like his stories are just, they're great, but there's so many common stories like
Those
that.
were the people who were really risking it all.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, it's not like hey, if this doesn't work, like we're still cool, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So not as dramatic, but in a large sense, it was Rupert. It was the people who first started it.
Rupert, my grandma, and his brother Ralph.
Yeah.
They went out on a limb and said, "Let's try this thing in this weird county called Stafford that no one knows why it even is."
Because he wasn't from here, right?
He's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when he died, Dad was in high school. Ron was in middle school, I think, or right there, freshman, 8th grader. It went bankrupt almost.
Wow.
Like Dad came back. Ron was essentially going to school, picking cars up with a tow truck at night. They lived in Springfield, And once again, you think of this and you think of where some of these businesses might be. I mean, when I say live in Springfield, if you've ever come to DC, you're like, oh, look at these. I'm talking 3-bed ranch.
Yeah.
Right, with
Well,
no
then,
AC, right?
Back then, so I grew up in the Bailey's Crossroads area, just outside of D.C. in Virginia, and Springfield was the boondocks.
Yeah.
When I grew up, actually, there were 2 spots where we could ride our dirt bikes, and it was called Springfield Pits, and one of them is exactly where that big Toyota dealership is, where you drive down 90.
Loisdale.
Where you're on. Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's a parking garage. It might be a Metro near the mall. There's a huge parking facility.
Yeah, like you
used to be. So it was the Boondocks.
It used to be like the Beulah Pits or something like that.
Yeah, Beulah Pits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dad just talked about he just to get his bike and just head back to the neighborhood.
So
and go.
Springfield was the Boondocks.
Yeah,
I'd never heard. My brother bought a little small house and 17 acres in Spotsylvania, Virginia in 1986. And when he told me he was moving to Spotsylvania, I had never heard of it. I thought he was going somewhere in Pennsylvania. Is that in Pennsylvania? He goes, no, it's like 50 miles south.
You're like, why would you go there?
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah. Now so so bringing it back, like my kids, I mean, they have a very different reality.
Sure.
And I'd like to say that, I've tried to keep it normalized to the extent of what I think normal is. I mean, I think there are people who live outside of their means, and there are people who live inside of their means. And I just try to...
It's hard to compete with that. And you can say you're not competing as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if you are trying to live responsibly and below your means, you're saying no to certain things, right?
Sure.
And then your kids are going to church, they're going to school, they're interacting with other kids whose parents either have a whole lot more means or they're spending beyond their means. And so there's always that. They're like, but what about And that's
Oh.
that's always been a tough
Or
conversation.
it's when your kids hear you talking about business and they just don't understand the cost to do business in this industry, right? So we may have like, oh, we did this. Well, let me tell you how much the bills are, like to run the business. But
Have you
all
ever
they hear
done
is,
that with your
oh
boys?
my gosh, yeah.
You ever do any little experiments where it's like, okay, here, try this?
Shockingly, I'll be like, and they have no concept really about this, but I'll be like, hey, like, how much do you think we did today? Within $10,000.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. I'm like, how did you guess?
Well,
And
now they're just in a rhythm.
yeah.
right?
And so now I have to like really par back on like, what do I tell them? Because I don't need them talking about.
They don't need,
Yeah, they don't need to be talking about things to people.
You're basically sharing financials
I know,
with
right?
your
Yeah,
teenagers.
that's not a good idea. But like for Rupert's, I go, hey guys, what do you think a good number for the day would be? How many people? And they're like, well, I don't know, Dad. Is it a Saturday or is it a Monday? So that's kind of
That's a
fun.
good question.
And we'll walk through that a little bit. But
How old are you boys again?
right now, so tomorrow, it'll be 10 tomorrow. The youngest one, and the other one's 15.
Nice.
No, 14. Sorry, 14.
Yeah.
But he's, I think he's 15.
He plays soccer, right? The
They
14-year-old.
both play soccer. Lots of soccer.
Lots of soccer.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, yeah. And the oldest one, I get that my wife and I both split the duties here.
Yeah.
They both travel a lot, and I think I've lamented to some people like, oh my gosh.
Your oldest son plays soccer at my old high school.
Yeah, it's Justice High School, right?
Yeah. It's Jeb Stewart. when
Okay,
went
I
there.
couldn't remember which
Yeah.
one it was.
Yeah.
No, he does.
That's crazy because we're not talking in like I grew up in this town. That's 60 miles from here.
It's a haul, and so yeah, it's one of those things where I get off work, and then it was funny. Last night I was up there, right, and I was talking to a good friend Kenny Jones. We both know Kenny, and he goes, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm up in Falls Church." He goes, "Why would you do that?" And I said,
"'Cause I'm a dad."
I said, "That's where it could be." And I said, I've got 3 years, and I get him in the car. Now, are we talking about deep things? No. But it's those moments in time where you get like that.
yeah.
Dad, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And you lock in because you have kids that are older than my kids, so you're ahead of me, and it's like, I'm not getting those back.
Yeah.
And so, who knows? I mean, when someone, Rick Nicely, our friend, said this one time, and he said it at I think it was one of those things where the high school seniors are graduating, and he goes, as a parent, you have the bow, which is you, and you have the arrow, which is them. And your job is to point them in the best direction you can, pull it back, and then launch it.
The letting go.
Oh my gosh.
You haven't got there.
No, I haven't got there, but I'm in the process of with my 14-year-old, my oldest one, like getting it back to the point of tension and just trying to put it as close as what I think
Sure.
north is. And when I let it go, the wind could blow.
Yeah.
It could be a girl, it could be a job, it could be sports, it could be anything.
Any
It could
number
be,
of distractions.
and when you let go, you're still a parent. It's like that's what I think. It's hard. Like watching me as like a 40-plus-year-old, and my mom's like, "You're still my baby,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't like that
Yeah.
because then it's like the emotional
Yeah.
hits you.
Yeah.
And we are all over the map here.
No, it's nuts. I'll tell you that one of the things that went so a few months ago, one of my oldest son, was having some car troubles. I said, bring it to the house, right? So he brings it to the house, and he despises working on vehicles, and so I was like, let's do it together. So we did some stuff. It actually took 2 weekends to get it all wrapped up, get his car roadworthy again. And I remember saying to him the second weekend he came back, I said, look, I know that working on cars is like among your least favorite things to do. I said, but for me, getting to work on a car with my son, I said, these have been 2 great weekends for me. And he smiled, and he's like, I really enjoy spending time with you. It's been good.
That's cool, though.
But being able to find those things, I heard somebody say, I'll get the numbers wrong, but you get the idea. They said by the time your kid gets to 16, 17, 18 years old, you have spent 90+% of the time that you're going to spend with them for their entire life.
Yeah, that is.
And that hits.
Oh, it does. And of that, so I'm in the process now where I'm getting out of superhero status with both of them.
That's tough.
And that's so hard, man.
It's tough.
Because it's one of those things you don't know how good it is till you just lost it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh my gosh, I just want to sit down in the chair. Like, I don't want to do this or this or that. And then you're like, hey, what's up, bud? And they're like, what's up, Dad? And I'm like,
You want to go do blah, blah, blah? And they go,
nah.
nah.
I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to do it anyways. And they're like, why would you do that? So yeah, it's parenting's weird, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's
every time Michelle and I, when we talk about it, we look back and you go, every time you've got, and you do. I'm not. You do figure some things out, right? So your kid's in a certain stage. They're small. You kind of figured that out. Right about the time you figure that out, boom, they move to the next phase, right?
And then you had them stacked too, and like they don't all like.
No, it's like juggling chainsaws.
This worked with this one. It's gonna work. Nope.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No,
they're both girls. It's gonna nope.
Awesome. Nope. We did see there's like personality types, and that's what.
Well, you had more than two, right? So
we had four.
Yeah.
And really, we had two had a strong elements of my personality, still have some elements of Michelle's personality, and then the other two was kind of the other way around. And you just gotta clock that and work with it, and you have to. I was not the best at it. But look, we're all just out there trying, right?
And, I think so back to me growing up. It's funny. I don't know how to work on a car. I know how to monetize a car.
Yeah. So even going back to my days at Mannheim, so Mannheim, Copart, right? I have met hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands of people in this industry. Very few car people. And I think, so we're going back 20 years when I first started I'm like, wait, you don't like cars? Like, no. Yeah. A lot of people, they're not into cars.
It's really almost like you're like, well, you mean you don't like to work on them? Like, no, there's not even an appreciation for them.
Yeah.
Like, it looks cool, I guess.
So if I were to say, what's your dream car? You'd be like, I like
no,
my 4Runner.
I actually do have a dream car.
What is your dream car?
Have a dream car. It's a Magnum PI Ferrari.
The 308.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want that car so bad.
I drove one.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was a kid.
I was told they're trash. Are they trash?
I don't know. I was like 20 maybe. I might have been 19 or 20 years old. I was working at a merchant tire.
Yeah.
in Alexandria.
Okay.
Might have been younger. And, I was a tire changer, batteries, whatever. So fresh out of high school. And some guy, he'd ordered these tires for his Ferrari, and they came in. Gosh. Who would leave their Ferrari at a merchant's tire?
No, I don't know. That's a great question.
Because I'll tell you what happens. A 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid changes the tires, and he's like, I was like, I got to test drive it, right? You're supposed to test drive it.
Are they balanced?
Yeah. Yeah. I could smell clutch by the time I got back. I'll just say that.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, that was fun. See, that would be a car I'd love to have.
That was fun.
I've heard they're horrible to work on. So there's a car I got introduced to this week. I'm going to biff the name.
Pantera. Yeah.
It's the Ford body with an Italian motor.
Okay. It kind of looks like a GT40.
Yes.
Do you know GT40?
I do, yeah. But I saw those.
Yeah.
I really like that, man.
Fat tires, right?
Yeah, they ran one across the auction.
Barrett Jackson.
Last week. And so that's kind of where I was like, oh, look at that. That's cool. And they kind of were only sold, I was told they were only sold at Lincoln dealerships.
Interesting.
But it was a cool car. But it kind of still has that Italian, like, Ferrari deal. Now,
so your dream garage, right? You've got the 308.
Yeah.
Anything else? 3 cars.
3 cars, gosh.
Oh, way to bring an interview to a grinding halt, Vince. All right.
Yeah. No, I think that I really love the old Land Cruiser.
That's a nice car.
Like the old Land Cruiser. I mean, the tire on the front.
Yeah.
I think Shannon Nordstrom might have one. I think I saw one.
I think he does, a red one.
I was like, of course you do, Shannon.
Yeah. He's also got a Trans Am, which is...
I don't have a desire for that.
My buck. Oh.
Way too big of a hood.
I had one, and I've had a couple of them.
Funny story. Awesome. My best friend, Colt, had a Firebird, Pontiac Firebird. And he goes, you want to drive it? I'm like, oh, heck yeah, man. Well, the thing is fast. It was cool. I thought it was fast.
Yeah. It's faster than a probe.
It's faster than a probe. And it will blow through red lights really fast. And the hood's really long. Still have it at M&M, covered up.
No way.
Yeah, so it's literally, he stopped driving it in 2002, 3. Wow. And it's sitting under like a T-topped, nice red color. It's sitting under the under a canopy at M&M in the corner.
Ask him if he wants to sell it.
He's not going to sell that. He needs to fix it. That's what he needs to do. And if you're listening to this, you need to fix your car because I need to drive it. So I got two. So let me, the third one,
yeah.
I kind of like I like a 57 Thunderbird. I know. It's kind of like it's one of those.
Somebody at church had one of those. Jay, what's his name?
Oh, the architect guy.
Yes.
Brian.
That's the car you're talking about, right? The old one. The
old one. Yeah. And that's just, it's just kind of is a neat car. I thought it was a pretty car a while back. But so, yeah. You know,
they tried to do a reboot on those in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, the Thunderbirds, they kind of looked,
Yeah.
I mean, they were cool.
It's a dog.
Whether they're nostalgic, the parts are worth a lot of money.
Oh, yeah?
Unless you don't buy them, then don't buy them. Let me buy all of them, please. No, so yeah, that's
So growing up in the yard, you're out there doing grunt work. Did you ever dig through the cars? Because I'm leading toward another topic.
Yeah, did I ever dig through cars?
Were you ever fascinated?
I don't know if I ever found anything in a car. No, yes, I dug through cars, Vince.
What was the craziest thing?
I found a Rolex. No, no, I think if you know, you know.
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay, good. No, so
let's talk about it.
No, hold on. I got to tell you what I found.
Okay.
I'm at college, and where I went to school, you paid for a block of credits, and so full time was whatever full time was, but you paid for an odd number of credits, and the school always thought they won. Like it was. So I'm like, oh, you're not going to win on me.
Nobody wins with Jono.
No, so I'm like,
Jono wins.
I know that it was. 15 was a full course load, but they laid you by 17 credits a semester. So I'm like, I'm taking all the 1 credit classes I can find. And so I took golf. And shockingly, I was like, this is going to be a great way to boost my GPA.
Does this come back around to finding
stuff? Well, just wait. Okay. Just hold on. I'm going to land this plane. I'll land a plane.
Go on.
So I get in there, and I'm like, sign up for golf. It's starting like in a couple weeks. And I'm like, hey, Mom, Dad, I need golf clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't golf, right?
Right.
Lo and behold, we had a Audi come in with Richmond, like the University of Richmond golf, and I'm like, it was a fire job, and I'm like, just no way. Opened up, tailor-made golf set, and I literally had this entire set of golf clubs that I found in the car, and they're like, dude, everybody's like, you have tailor-mades? And I'm like, yeah, of course I do have tailor-mades. Like,
don't you?
Why are they burned? I don't know why they're burned. Like, I need more grips. So I had them. They didn't fit, but I had it. That was probably the coolest thing I found.
You're a tall guy. Were they?
Oh, they were
they for a shorter person?
Like 5'6", 5'7" guy.
Oh my gosh.
So I was leaning over, like trying to hit with them, and the best part
they were free.
They were free, and this class that was supposed to be there to boost my GPA, I got like a C in it or a B in it, because the guy who taught the class, I thought it was a show up in golf and you get an A.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was part of it, and I got that A. And then it was like, here's the final, and it's like the caddy test for the PGA. I didn't read the book.
Like what club to use on this
like how you rake the sand. I'm like, you just rake the sand. What are you talking about, raking sand? It's like, anyway.
That's funny.
That's the best thing I found.
So let's move forward and back, right? We're going to move forward, but we're also going to go back to kind of the origin story that we were talking about at the beginning with you and I and the ARA. And so I was about. We had parallel ideas, right? And they converged to one beautiful idea called Total Treasure, right?
It's glorious.
I had this idea inside my first year, I think, where I thought it would be fun I was trying to figure out a way to build content for social media and build an audience. Mm-hmm. I thought, I'm going to visit all recyclers all the time. I remember telling you, I'm like, I either told you or Aaron, probably you. And I was like, I think I'm just going to start rolling with my iPhone and digging through cars each time I go to a recycler. And you were like, wait, hard stop.
Yeah, you got to hold on a second. Yeah, we already got this locked down. Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean locked down? I want to do this.
Yep. Yeah. So we were in Michigan for a celebration of life. And I'm sitting across the table from Aaron at this.
Get closer.
Sitting across the table from Aaron. I think the restaurant was doesn't matter what it was, but we were sitting across, and I'm like, dude, we find some crazy crap in cars. And he's like, you do what? I was like, come on, man, you work there. There's people leave like when you get in an accident, the last thing you go is like, oh no, I got to get my X out of cars.
Nobody's cleaning their stuff out.
Well, now, yeah, sometimes the auction people are, but not this guy. So I'm sitting here and I go, we should do this. And I go, I've been watching these people online, and they're the stupidest things, and they've got millions of views. We could totally beat them, which we tried.
We tried.
But so then you show up.
The same idea.
Yeah, same idea. And I'm like, This is so
But
big.
I was gonna pull the trigger on it like low production value, me and my iPhone,
Yep.
you know, kind of first person doing all this, and you're like, wait. Let me reintroduce you to Aaron Stone.
Yeah, is that when it kind of came back?
That's what it is.
Wow. So then we ended up.
Do me a favor and crank just the mic portion so it points more to your. Thanks, because I feel like your stand is slipping. You see this piece right here, the round piece?
Yeah.
It's on my side, not your side.
Okay. Yeah, that one too.
Loosen it and then raise your mic up, your boom up just a little bit closer to you. There you go.
All right, there
Thank
we
you.
go.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So then we were like, oh, we got this great idea. Let's figure out where we're gonna go. And we had a production, right? Because it couldn't just be iPhone vents.
No.
But we did iPhone vents with B&R.
Oh, that was a tour. That was a yard tour.
But remember how that was like?
Yeah.
You were like 4 feet from me the entire time because we were wired.
Because we couldn't afford the wireless mic, so
Yeah.
I literally had to 4
Like,
feet.
so
from
like
there.
this was as far as we were from each other as we like.
and you could see the cord coming
it's
off
like,
your mic,
and
your
then, like,
lapel
we
mic.
We had to
You
like
could see
kind
the
of
cord.
keep going at you. Yeah. So, anyways, that was a fun trip.
But then you pitched, you go, oh, let's do this, and we got together. We had a brainstorm with Aaron, and Total Treasure was born.
It was, and it was.
Literally,
gosh,
probably
sometimes
the
you-
most fun I've ever had at work.
Sometimes you forget what you were able to do or try until you sit down just to talk about it.
Yeah,
So we did it, and we decided to go to Coco.
yeah. Shan's place was our pilot episode.
And Vince, you decided to wear clothes completely unacceptable for Florida.
What did I wear?
You were having like a heat stroke, man.
That was not because of my clothes. It was because it's 130 degrees in July.
Well, we weren't having heat stroke.
You remember we were there. We were on the ground in July of 2020.
Is that when that was?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's when we were there. I just remember it was super hot, like really hot.
Oh,
And
it was. I mean, it was. I thought
was
you were going to pass
stroking
out,
out.
man.
Oh.
You were in a car, like looking like you were
every
keeling
time
over.
I would do the thing right and on the camera, smiles and goofy and hijinks and all that. As soon as he'd yell cut, I'd go.
You were like
a prima donna. I'd go sit. I'd be like, I'll be in my trailer. I'd go sit in the car with the the lot ride, which in
that's
Florida,
right,
lot
yeah.
rides have to have AC.
Oh, they do. Yes.
I would assume. But hers did. So I sit in the lot ride, AC blasting on my face, drinking a bottle of water and I'm like, literally, my face is like, and then they tap me, knock on the window. I'd come out
Hey, let's
and
go.
do this.
I was elevated to my level of competence, which was the boom holder. I think I was holding the
Yeah.
the microphone.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a technical name for that.
Yeah, I think it's probably not boom holder, but
No.
anyways,
Some guy named Boom.
that's right. I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, and so that was the first one we did, and then
and honestly,
it was a good one.
it was really good because that was one where we found an Apple Watch and we were able to power it up.
Yes,
We reached out to the owner.
Yep.
And we were actually able to get him his watch back.
Yeah, because you called him, and
Yeah,
it was like
we called him.
I don't want to just name random names, but yeah, he was super. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do voices, but he was super excited.
Look at you dodging bullets.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, that
But
was a fun one.
And then we went back to, and then we found the difference in Coco and Cocoa Beach.
Yeah.
Did another two different things.
Yep.
Um,
And what did we do?
we drove
after
the
that?
Tesla there.
We did yours. We did M&M.
Was that was next? Yeah.
We did Scott Robertson's place.
Yeah, and then I was asked to not come back.
We did. You just stopped showing up.
I think it's because I was like, I'm not paying to do this.
You
Because I don't
weren't-
think
you
I think
weren't
people
doing
was-
anything.
Yeah, that's also true. They're like, you want to get on a call and talk about what we're gonna find? No,
Yeah.
don't want to do this. Yeah. Then you did Eric Wilbert's.
We did Wilbert's.
I was there for that one. No, I was there for some of that one.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we tag team it with the yard tours.
Well, that's what we figured out, right? We figured out that the yard tours were so successful, product of COVID.
Yeah.
We were going to Reno in 2020 for our annual conference.
and that's what we did the B&R.
We scheduled B&R, canceled the conference, did a virtual conference
Yep.
instead of in person. And I remember telling Sandy, I'm like, why don't Jono and I go out? Why don't we go out and film and we could do a virtual tour?
Yep.
And that's when the idea was born. We did it. And man, people love the tours.
Push pause, like I know Total Treasures. We're not done. We don't.
Yeah.
But it's the combination of those two happening like within same season, same ideas, kind of going to the people versus having them come to. It's been really unique watching. It's not unique. It's when you give someone something that they didn't know they wanted and they really like it.
Yeah.
It makes you feel really cool
Yeah.
that you were a part of it,
Yeah.
right? And so you can go on YouTube and you can see the yard tours, you see the views. It's like, oh, 1,000 people, that's cool.
It's a small market.
It is, and that's what I think it is. It's like you're never going to see those 100,000 views,
No.
but it's when you start realizing that the beauty of the internet is that it doesn't stop
No.
at the walls of the United States or Virginia or Fredericksburg. It's like
One day I'm going to wake up and Total Treasure.
it's going to be it.
Because it's out there. It's on YouTube.
Somebody is going to be like,
one day it's going to
hello, chap, I want
and they're
you
going
in
to
the
reach
UK.
out. They'll be like, "Hey, we would like to. We want to do that. We want to put this on the History Channel, or whatever." I'm like, and then they're going to see me. And they're like, "Wait, you're like 10 years
How
older
did
than
you
this
do
guy."
this? No, but no, we were at, I would venture to say that at almost every major conference, industry related, that I've attended, I've had people come up and say, that was cool, thank you.
The tours.
The tours.
Yeah.
No, they should be saying about Total Treasure too,
but you were never on camera. Wait, you might have been on camera for one of the Total Treasures. Weren't
this
you?
one.
Oh yeah, of course, Eminem.
Yeah.
But you've told me before, you are more recognized for the facility tours than you even are for being president of ARA.
They don't even know that I was the president of ARA. I mean, I know that it's a big deal.
Sure.
But it is funny. They're like, oh my gosh, you did this and you went to Wilbert's and you went to. I'm like, yep. How long have you been coming to these? I'm like, I was the past president of ARA, the function you're at.
That's definitely something that I want to do better.
Yeah,
I want to get more of those virtual tours.
They really, and people have been asking for them, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the neat thing is like I said, people from New Zealand, Australia, like Canada. Well, Canada's not like that far away, but I mean the UK, and they're all like, hey, thanks for showing me that. I really always wanted to know what Nordstrom's looked like after they did the redo, like 2.0.
We get people reaching out to us, and also I see people on the Professional Salvage Forum on Facebook. The same question, right? Hey, I'm looking for some inspiration on doing X, right, at the yard. And I know that we've covered it from a hybrid perspective, a self-serve perspective, a full-serve perspective, and I love pointing people toward the facility tours. Go watch this one in particular. You're going to see how I don't know what it's called, the articulating rack system that Shannon has.
I think it was SRS. They had the SRS machines.
Yep. Nordstrom's got it.
Wilbert's has
got
them
it.
too, yeah. And then you go to Tom's, Everett's, and it's a very different setup, very
different.
Dynamic how they do their things, both effective, both efficient, and it's just kind of where's your budget, what do you want? But it gives people resources, and it's like we're creating a library of resources for the recycling community. And I would even say that one of the things about where we had a yard tour at this last conference. It was
an open house.
An open house. Sorry, not yard. Open house. You know, people often think you have to be going to the biggest, best yards to learn something, and I'd say absolutely not. Like, we're so resourceful as an industry, as entrepreneurs, that the facility could be a 100,000 square foot building and everything under a roof, or 10,000 square foot building on a 2-acre plot, and they do things there that you could probably take back to your business. But it's just getting to that point of saying, I would never go out of my way to see them, because I'm maybe never there. I think that what really should happen is we should be invited and compensated to go to the UK and to Europe, and probably go around Europe, visiting some. Yeah, I think that someone should do that. Like the EU should just pay us to do that.
Yeah. The EU. Yeah, good stuff. So we talked a little bit about your, obviously.
Well, Total Treasure. So to close the loop on that. The association's done.
Yeah.
At least 6 of them, right?
I would say at least a half a dozen locations, and then we started doing
multiple things,
episodes per location. So I know we've got a lot of episodes out there, and some of them, got tens of thousands of views and did really 40 or 50,000 did really well. We came so close to breaking 1,000 subscribers. That sounds so pitiful.
It does, but it's really but the market, right? Like, so what is our niche that we're going for?
So our niche is, how many recyclers are there in the U.S.? Like,
I really
some estimates say 9,000, some say 6,000-7,000. As far as membership, we've got a fraction of that. You look at the Professional Salvage Forum, and I think that's got 4,000 or 5,000 followers, which is what ARA has on on social media, and so the market is really small.
And really, and even though that I think it was cool.
I totally think it was cool.
It's better than what's on some of those terrible like cable TV shows. That
I think UVM, I think Aaron and the production team made it so much better than it was.
I mean, you know what I watch sometimes, and you may have seen this
Old episodes.
of that,
Yeah.
all the time. I actually put it on my TV, so I'm like watching it on TV now.
Your kids are big fans.
They are. They they liked it and subscribed. So it's like those storage wars.
Yeah.
Comparable concept. Terrible. I mean, they edit the stuff out of that thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like ours was real.
Ours was real.
That Rolex was real.
Well,
It wasn't real, but it was cool. we did find it
we did find it.
in the car. And hey, we sold all those Uber scooters.
Did you?
Yeah, that we found in cars.
It was in an Enterprise van, I believe.
Yeah, they wouldn't want them back. Remember, I tried to call them, and they wanted to say why. They were upset I had them, and I said,
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I sold them.
Good for you. Do you ever get them running?
No.
No.
Everybody was like, I can get them running. I'm like, no, you can't.
Nobody could.
Like, I'm gonna buy and get it running. Go for it, man. It's probably not running.
Yeah.
It's in a shredder.
So we talked. We talked about your time on the EC and your time as president. What was that experience like? Not a ton of people in the industry get to go through that, right? So,
Yeah. So I know we started. We talked about how getting you connected to the association and kind of like just the right time, the right place. Like for me, it's interesting. Like my journey through to getting onto the EC. No one really told me how it really happened, but I put enough pieces together that I realized a lot of people had to say no for me to get in. So,
That's amazing.
But it's true. I mean,
What a story! Because you were again. I'm not blowing smoke. You can ask anybody. You were a really good president. You brought cohesion to the committee, which is so important.
if you don't know what it's like to work with people who don't want to work together, it's really hard,
Yeah,
especially when it's such a tight knit group.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would guess if you weren't the youngest, you were certainly among.
Yeah, I think Eric tried to steal it, but I think I made sure he was 1 year off.
Yeah,
I don't know that for sure, but I think
Yeah.
I'm right. Pretty sure I'm right.
we'll say you're right.
Yeah, I think so.
He's not here.
He's not. He can't edit this.
No.
No. So I was the president of Virginia, which even in that was like what in the world? Like I remember going to a meeting, and my dad had served as a president of Virginia's Automotive Recyclers Association, and he was here, and they said, "Hey, we want you to be on the board." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Well, I go into the meeting, and it's like the current person who's going to be president goes, "I'm resigning," and I'm like, "That's a bummer." And you're vice president, so you're president now. I'm like, I'm a what? So I became president. I had no idea. I got this massive.
It's like the line. Everybody took a step backwards.
Yeah, it's like
except for you.
It was like designated survivor. It's like you didn't die, so you could do it. And so I had this. He gave me all the folders and all the binders and all this paperwork about the association, and not uncommon. It was kind of interesting how God prepared it. But that association as well was the same thing. It was. I equated it to like a church, where the staff is not willing to the staff is bleeding the church to death, right? So it was like the association was at a point in Virginia where we were paying our dues to have an association executive director, and that wasn't a sustainable option, right? We weren't helping anybody, and so I did that and served with some great people on the executive committee. One is Matt Caddy from LKQ did a great job of just kind of stepping in the void and like really helping us out, and he's still on the board as well, and so. Are you on the board in Virginia? Yeah, I'm actually the president now again.
Are you?
It's
really?
kind of like the designated survivor again. I just kind of pop back in. And so when it came up, Ed McDonald reached out to me, past president, and he said, "Hey, I think that you should apply to become the area president." I said, "How do you know my name?" Like, I didn't even know how he knew my number. And I said, "I got to ask my dad." And because I was doing inventory, like that was my job, and so. And the first thing I thought was like, my dad would be so good at this.
I had this conversation with you.
He is my dad's he's opinionated,
A little bit.
but he's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a valuable trait that's often overlooked.
You have the same qualities. You do. You're opinionated. You're passionate, and you bring. I said it earlier. You bring this calmness. You have discernment. Is what you've got. I've watched you lay that out in a room where there's controversy, and you just sit back and you watch and you listen. And suddenly, eventually, they get around because you're president. You're on the EC. Well, Jono, what do you think? And then you speak, and it was always impressive.
Well, I appreciate that. It definitely, once again, that's one of those things you don't teach yourself. I mean, you may refine it, but it's just something that
I think it has a lot to do with your faith. I think I could almost see the faith wheels turning, and
Well, to say it's not that. I mean, that's
quick to think, slow to speak. I could always,
That's funny because I think a lot of people would not agree with that last statement. But within the context, it's interesting how much. I really don't like conflict. I don't like it in my life.
You're constantly, when I talk to you, I don't think I can recall a conversation that I've had with you in the past several years where at some point you're not trying to stir the pot.
So stirring the pot to me is different than conflict.
It's the genesis of conflict.
Well, maybe the Leviticus of conflict, but the Genesis.
It's the genesis.
No, but I would say that like the ballast of what I find my peace in is when that there's peace.
Yeah.
And but I do enjoy like witty banter.
I think you can look at most situations and you can see a path to peace, but depends on who you're dealing with. But you can see the path to peace. Like even with you and I having a simple conversation on the phone, you know exactly how to get through a conversation without causing problems. I think depending on who you're talking to, you just kind of enjoy getting off at the trouble exit every once in a while.
I do. Okay, well there is that. Like if it gets too serious, I'll like throw something in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, but all that to say, my dad would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And he should have done it. And he didn't do it because he was being a good steward to the company.
So he was approached?
I think he was.
Okay. But I agree with you.
But I think that's so many people have fought the good fight for ARA at the cost of their own life, their livelihood, not their life, their livelihood, not their life.
Yeah.
And I think that Dad just always thought that he needed to be here, and he probably did for some of those seasons and opportunities. And so he was supportive. The family was supportive. My brother Nathaniel came in, and he happened to be in the community, just got married, and he was like, I can help. And he graciously stepped in and has done an awesome job.
He's a buyer.
More than that, he's like a confidant, a buyer, a pricing, all the stuff. He is, he makes so much of the beginning of that sausage, right? He gets it going.
Older or younger? I always forget.
Younger, yeah.
He's your younger brother.
Yeah.
You're the oldest.
I am, yeah. Okay. And then I have another brother, Josh, who's in Pennsylvania, just killing it.
Bachman's
and LeBaron's, yeah. You should use them for buying all your part needs after M&M. But so we're sitting there and so I get approached and once again, so this is so fun. My mom and dad, their vacation together was the ARA convention.
This is not the first time I've heard this story. Not just from you, but
from others, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
this is very common.
It goes back to the silverback apes made the industry. Yeah, and they did. And this was that was their reprieve. That was going. But when they would go, my dad and mom would open the brochure and be like, I'm going to this one. You go to this one. I'm going to this one. You go to this one. And then
divide and conquer.
Yeah, and then they would just, they'd compare notes and they'd talk about things and they'd have events for the women and then the guys and they'd do this and that.
And you and your brothers, you guys had front row seats. They didn't just go to the pool.
Oh, no. So when we got to go, so that was my senior trip with my dad, was to St. Louis. And I got to go up on the arch and I would, anyway, that was a big deal. Me and Dad got to go to ARA. And he sat down and he goes, when you go to these meetings, I was staying at the Adams Mart, which is the same place that I think URG was last year.
Okay.
It's not called the Adams Mart anymore. The hotels to change their names. But he goes, you need to take notes when you go. We didn't come here for fun. And I was like, all right. So we went in there and
he wasn't in the presidential suite this year.
he wasn't. I wasn't in a lot either because you guys were nuts. It was fun though. You guys raised money, which is perfect.
We raised a lot of money.
But also, when your parents would go to the area functions, what would often happen, like during Christmas, the stockings.
Oh, no, don't. Are you
Yes,
kidding
they
me?
were.
You'd get all the little
Dude,
tchotchkes.
all of them. And so if you
That's amazing.
And so you'd be like looking over, like, well, I know what that one's going to be when I open that, because Nathaniel and Josh just opened the back scratcher from Crusher or Easy Crush or whatever. So it's like, oh, there's a squishy ball. Okay, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just like a Locator magazine,
Yeah.
which is used to be a magazine in the industry.
Yep.
Like one year they gave out sweatshirts, and my dad somehow got 3 of them because he probably went back 3 times
Not
and got
shocked. Yeah.
So we all got sweatshirts.
Different sizes.
They were nice
all the same
sweatshirts too.
size. Yeah.
He still has it.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I got approached, and when I was sitting through the meetings, I used to always hear, it's important if you want to be on the ARA executive committee to be involved in the committees, and that's how you get noticed, and that's how you pay your dues. And so when they approached me, I was like, hey man, like I haven't done any of that stuff. Like I'm not even the vote from M&M, which is fine, but I'm not. And they were like, well, fill out the application. So I filled the application out, and it came down to like, what have you done for the association? I'm like, we're just kind of like, I don't know, not really a lot. And so, and I realized at the time twofold. One is they really needed somebody that would say yes. And
Who nominated you?
I think it was Ed McDonald.
Okay.
Or he's the person that contacted me, so that
Sure.
was, but I think it was. And so I filled it out, and they go, you were the state association president. I'm like, that's 100% not qualification. That's not a good qualification. I was not even elected to that. So got in, really had a crazy, I mean, Mike, the old executive director, Michael Wilson,
Sure.
he lives in Fredericksburg.
He and I used to joke because I would see him at FADRA. I would see him at trade
Events,
shows,
yeah.
at events. And we live 5 miles from each other.
Yeah, I know, because
And
he lives right down the road.
He lives at Fawn Lake, and I've never seen him in Virginia, much less in Spotsylvania.
Yeah, so he was close by, and I would say that the proximity that M&M has to ARA headquarters, and the fact that we've always strived to do well, even though we haven't won a car award ever. I don't know who's on that committee, but I'd really like to win something.
I know
sometime.
somebody, but
I know, I'm just totally kidding. No, I'm not. But no, we
try harder.
try harder. Geez. Yeah, I'll try harder. Do those surveys. I'll make sure I really 10, self-audit year. I'm just kidding.
Stop.
Edit that out, Sue.
We got to land this plane.
Why? This is fun.
I know. Well,
All right.
We're an hour and 22 minutes into this conversation.
Oh, I think this is kind of fun, but we can land it. Sure,
Yeah.
we can do like a Sean Ryan, just keep going. Like
I don't think
part
I've
one
got
of two.
I don't think I got the juice to keep an audience for
You do,
2 or
man.
3 hours.
This is good. Like I know Ruthie and Michelle will watch it.
So yeah, we'll have.
We'll have 2 views.
I'll be lucky if I get the EC to sit all the way through to this point.
Yeah, fair. No, but ARA is the proximity to DC. We've had so many people come through here.
Yeah.
From other countries that are looking at what does recycling look like. From
I was here. We met with the group from China.
Yeah, that was weird. Remember that joint venture?
Crazy, how weird.
Was that the communist dude?
They had so there was some
So like
business
China is
people.
communist, but yes.
Right, but they had some business people from China, and then there was somebody
From the party.
from the party for the CCP.
Yeah,
right?
he was sitting right here. Yeah, in the same
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And so, so I mean, I think there's just always been this, we can go to M&M.
Yeah.
And so there was like just this, this makes sense. He'd be a good addition. It's close by. You can get to DC easy when we have to do things in DC.
Mm-hmm.
But then slowly what got me there, got me in the seat. I think they got a whole lot of what they didn't expect. And I think that was and I think those things are the things that was the most helpful for the association.
Yeah.
Because M&M would have still been here and still been helpful. But I think it's the fact that they gave me an opportunity to do something that I really enjoyed. And that was helping people and making a difference.
You enjoyed your time on the EC?
Man, I really did. I mean, it was hard. And I have the most gracious family in the world to like let me do it and let me spend that much time away. But we really, I really had a good time. And I really feel like we made a difference with the people and the trajectory of where we are as an industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a good time. Yeah.
Well, as we wrap this up, I'm going to ask maybe one more question, and then we'll see if we can land the plane.
When do I get to ask questions?
Go ahead.
No, I just wouldn't know when I
Right
don't have
now.
any. But
Right now.
Sure.
Go ahead.
What was your office decorated with on Monday?
It was. That's a good question. Do you know the answer to this?
I knew that it was decorated. I just know that much.
So we did Birmingham. Obviously, this Birmingham, our convention marks 12 months as executive director.
That's right.
12 months as leading the team at ARA. Amazing team: Jessica, Kelly, Tiffany, Emil, all of our contractors, Karen, Sue, Jennifer, our new event planner. So the whole year has been very interesting. What a growth year it's been for myself, and how much I've learned. We go to the event, we go to the conference. A lot of great feedback. There's some not so great feedback, but it's been honest, and I expected it. And we come back, and then I took the week after the conference off. And so this past Monday I went into the office, and I walked in. Oh, and the other thing that's important to note is that Jessica and I share a birthday, October 24th.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that's also something, right?
It was Friday, October 24th. We're a few decades apart, but we share the same day. And I walked in, and one more fact that makes this make sense is my wife and I have a small dog, little 7-pound Morky
from Mansfield, Ohio.
Came from Mansfield, Ohio. Yeah, Maltese and Yorkie, 7 pounds of attitude, and so if one of us is going to be away from the house all day, we either have to find someone to go to let her out, or you take her with us. So when Michelle was in South Dakota visiting her folks, I would take her into the office. So Monday, Michelle's home, but she's going to be gone all day. I said, well, I'll take her with me. I'm going in the office. Everybody at the office seems to like her, and she's good. So now that you have all that, I walk into the office. First thing I notice is I'm looking at the backs of picture frames, and then there's like this stuff. They got me gifts, and some of the gifts were for the dog, right? They got Reba is her name. They got her a bed and some chew toys, and then they bought some picture frames. And in one of the picture frames was my grandson.
Oh wow!
And another picture frame was Reba, and then they
McIntyre.
had another picture of my whole family together at my daughter's wedding a year or so ago, and they had that. So they had decorated my office because I had zero. I had no personal effects in my office, and they got me a coffee cup, which is from Dunder Mifflin, and it says "World's Greatest Boss," and I was like, joke or not, that's honestly, it just hit me. It was so kind. I was really blown away.
I think
so. I don't know how you why you asked me that question, or how you could have known any of that.
Well, there's just sometimes you just live close to DC and you have connections and whatnot. So, or I talked to Jessica. So.
Yeah.
No, I think the personal part of the stuff that makes our industry run is void. Like, it's like if you go to church and you just hear your pastor speak, but you don't ever actually know your pastor or someone you respect, right? So I think it's good that the people who are ever going to listen to this, like the 10 people, they will know, like the people really care about each other. It's not like you just have a dictator boss, Vince, who everybody just marches. It's like, no, there's an appreciation and there's like a cohesiveness that makes it really feel like a family.
I certainly hope so. I mean, I really enjoy the team. I love what I'm doing, and hopefully I get to do it for a while.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, that was a good answer to that question. I'm glad that we asked that.
Oh, well, I'm glad you got a chance to ask me a question. Who else should I look for? Who else should I interview before we go? Who would you say?
There was a time when I really thought that this, and I still think that this, maybe this setup or setup like that would be so neat to just have the people we're losing in this industry, like a fireside chat. It doesn't have to be this long because, you don't have Jonos everywhere. But, just to sit down with like a legacy member of Schramm, the legacy member of Vanderhags, the legacy member of these companies that have seen so many changes. Yeah. And just say, I just want 10 minutes. Let's talk through some stuff. Yeah. Like why did you do this? Right. I think that'd be neat. Yeah. But I like history. I like to know the why behind. I think that we did something similar with Nick Dario during COVID when Nick got asked to come onto the EC, and we realized how do we get people to know who Nick is? Right. Nick was kind of like an enigma, like me, like who is Nick Dario? Yeah. And so
I went out to Colorado.
Yeah, you did. We all went to, we went down to Pueblo to his place, and that's when we got his dad and the two guys to recreate that picture.
That's really
which was awesome, right?
Yeah, that was my idea. Okay.
Yeah, but I brought it up, so I get credit for it.
Yeah,
No,
whatever.
okay, sure, okay. But I think those are the kind of things that are neat. But I think that I'll be honest, man, the candidness of the conversation is going to be really different between different people you talk
Sure,
to.
of course.
Like this was a conversation that could have gone on for a long time.
Sure, absolutely.
You're going to get people who are really professional.
Yeah.
And you're going to get people who are really just jokesters.
My hope is that this does turn into a conversation that people are interested in listening to. And
you got to get better chairs, man.
And that we can, your chairs.
I know, they're terrible.
It's an interesting concept where we're attempting to make a mobile podcast. You didn't, that I carried it in like that.
Oh, you mean mobile, like in the sense of like not.
I'm gonna get like a good Pelican case. We're gonna put this thing on an airplane, and we're gonna go interview people around.
We're going to do this at URG.
Maybe. Yeah, that'd be,
or ARA.
I mean,
like
they have their own, and I wouldn't want to overstep.
I don't mean that. I just mean like we can go to where the people are also.
That's exactly like
that's
all
what
the,
I meant.
All the trade shows. I'm looking at the calendar now through that lens. Like, okay, if
where's the
I'm
other person going to sit? So you're going to have 3 people? Oh, you don't want me to be there anymore.
No, wait. I'm sorry. What just happened? You did say we, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, I should have caught that. All right, man.
Awkward.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate your willingness to do this, and
No,
I know we've talked about it for a long time, and I think you've made it a great conversation.
I had a good time. I'm excited to see where we're going. I'm excited for what you're doing, and yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.